are you holding any Ethereum, like even $1? And if not, would you consider in the future, at any time in the future, owning Ethereum?
100% of my crypto assets are Bitcoin. And the why is because it's universally acknowledged that Bitcoin is property. That is, it's a fair distribution, and it has none of the aspects of a security, right? Satoshi disappeared, the coins never moved for a year, they traded without a price. It was a project, and it was a project without any characteristics of investment contract. So if you look at the entire crypto ecosystem, all the uncertainty, all the regulatory uncertainty and the question marks are around securities, right? Stable coins are securities, lots of tokens are securities. If there's an ICO, if there's a central organization, if there's a pre-mine, if there's any kind of, if there's a foundation that has treasury, if there are executive decisions, if there are lots of hard forks that are happening every quarter, every 6 months, that starts to look more like a security in the eyes of a regulator. And I'm not your lawyer, so I'm not here to give you legal opinions one way or the other. But what I would say is, I am 100% certain that Bitcoin is property, and that means it's common property to the world. And I don't know the status of everything else. If something is property, it means that it is ethical and it is legal for a mayor, a governor, a senator, a congressman, a public official to promote it. Like, Chris, if you were to ask me right now, do you have a price prediction for Microstrategy stock? I would say no. That's a security. I'm not going to give you an opinion about a security. If you were to ask me for an opinion about any company, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, I would say that's a security. I would have civil liability, right? It's governed by the SEC. I don't wish to opine on it one way or the other, right? If you were to ask me about Bitcoin, I will look you in the face and say, Bitcoin is going up forever. It's good. Everybody should own it. So you understand, there's a safe harbor and there's a clarity around Bitcoin because it is property. When other things reach that degree of clarity, if there were other cryptos that were universally acknowledged as property, then they're something you could consider investing in. I don't have a problem holding property. I would hold land. I would, I don't have a problem promoting. I think you should buy your beach house. I think you should buy your second home. I don't have a problem with that. But I'll never give you any investment advice about a security, a private company, a public company, a crypto token, because that crosses this boundary, and I don't know, like I think you got to know your limitations. And so I'm hyper conservative in that regard as a public company officer. And because I've been a publicly traded company for 22 years and, I'm everything I do, like if you go and you look at our quarterly results, read them, or read my 10K, it has like pages and pages of risk factors in it. Full disclosure, when you have a security, you have an ethical obligation to give comprehensive disclosure about everything you've done, everything you're thinking about doing, and even then you worry, right? And so I like Bitcoin because it's property and you don't have that issue. I'm not ready, and it's just not appropriate to go into the other crypto areas, because we're going to have 3 to 5 years of regulatory clarity whereby during that time period, 30 jurisdictions are going to be working through how they feel about every single token. And I don't know, you can make money, no doubt, but I classify it as it's like technology venture capital. It's either an investment, like if you said it's guaranteed, it's just as safe as Apple, then it's an investment. But I wouldn't recommend Apple stock, even though it is an investment, even though it's publicly traded an investment. Or it's like in this private zone, where it's like VC, like venture capital. It's much riskier and there's a much greater failure rate. I mean, The odds are not 95% likely that Apple goes out of business in a decade. The odds are 95% likely that private companies go out of business in a decade or more. So no, I wouldn't do that. And or it's a speculation. Like you asked me about SHIB versus Doge versus another dog coin. It's like you can make lots of money if you did, great, good for you. But it's like, you know, I'm not going to recommend which football team you get, you know, you bet on for the Super Bowl. I just don't know. That's not what I'm here for. And I couldn't in good conscience make you know, a decent recommendation I'd stand by.